Fernandez, Rashford, Martinez, Man United injury latest and return dates ahead of Crystal Palace. Manchester United could have an injury list containing double figures ahead of the trip to Selhurst Park on Monday. Bruno Fernandes has yet to miss a Manchester United game through injury since his arrival in January 2020. The club captain was seen wearing a protective cast this week after Erik Ten Hag branded him a doubt for Monday's trip to Crystal Palace. The playmaker is both United's top scorer, 15, and assist provider, 11, this season. He is not the only injury concern United have, with 10 more currently on the physio list heading into the contest. United have slipped to 7th after Newcastle's thumping 4-1 win away at Burnley on Saturday, albeit Ten Hag's side have a game in hand and a win would see them leapfrog the Magpies once again. They will have to do so without a number of players though. Here is United's list of concerns and injuries ahead of Monday's clash. Bruno Fernandes. Injury, wrist? What Ten Hag has said, we had an issue with Bruno, so he is a doubt for Monday, but he will fight to be a part of this game. Never rule him out for any game, and he is giving his best to be available. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, away, Monday the 6th of May. Willy Kambwala. Injury, unknown. What Ten Hag has said, not yet. We have to be patient for it. For coming back for the game against Burnley, last week, I don't expect them, United's 7 injured defenders. Potential return date, May 2024. Scott McTominay. Injury, knee. What Ten Hag has said, Scott didn't train so far this week, but I expect him back in training on Saturday. Then we will have to see up to the game if he is 100% available or for, only, a part in the game. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, away, Monday the 6th of May. Johnny Evans. Injury, knock. What Ten Hag has said, Johnny returned today in the team training and tomorrow, we will see if it is enough before the 2 days before the game. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, Monday the 6th of May. Victor Lindelof. Injury, hamstring. What Ten Hag has said, not yet. We have to be patient for it. For coming back for the game against Burnley, last week, I don't expect them, United's 7 injured defenders. Potential return date, May 2024. Anthony Martial. Injury, groin. What has been said, Anthony was partly in the team training. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, Monday the 6th of May. Marcus Rashford. Injury, unknown. What has been said, his issue after Coventry hasn't healed. I can't tell you when he will be back in training. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, Monday the 6th of May. Luke Shaw. Injury, leg. What has been said, I think we will see them, Shaw, Martinez, and Marshall, all in the season. They have all returned onto the pitch. Next week, they have to make the step into team training and they can be available for the last weeks. They progress well. Potential return date, vs Crystal Palace, Monday the 6th of May. Raphael Varane. Injury, muscle. What has been said, not yet. We have to be patient for it. For coming back for the game against Burnley, last week, I don't expect them, United's 7 injured defenders. Potential return date, May 2024. Lisandro Martinez. Injury, muscle. What has been said, I think we will see them, Shaw, Martinez, and Marshall, all in the season. They have all returned onto the pitch. They have to make the step into team training and they can be available for the last weeks. They progress well. Potential return date, May 2024. Tyrell Malaysia. Injury, knee. What has been said, he had setbacks during his rehab process. It takes too long, it's bad for him. Bad for us. But now we've turned a point, and it's positive, he will return soon on the pitch. I don't think then it will take long before his returning in the team training. Potential return date, unknown. Erik Ten Hag must give Manchester United player a first Premier League start in 7 months. Man United's Mason Mount last started a game in the Premier League in November but could feature against Crystal Palace. The season is almost over and Mason Mount has made just 4 Premier League starts. Manchester United paid an initial £55 million to sign Mount when he was heading into the final year of his Chelsea contract, so he could have been signed for free this summer. He has played 673 minutes across all competitions, meaning he's cost £81,000 for each minute spent on the pitch, excluding his wages. He hasn't been a value-for-money signing, but there is still time for him to turn it around at Old Trafford. The midfielder last started in the Premier League against Luton Town on November 11 and deserves the chance to feature from the first whistle against Crystal Palace on Monday. Mount has been unfortunate with injuries in his first season in Manchester and spent 4 months on the sidelines with a calf injury. He returned from that problem in the 4-3 win over Liverpool in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup and scored in his next appearance in the 1-1 draw against Brentford. Mount's finish against Brentford wasn't straightforward. He did brilliantly to find the bottom right corner, and he celebrated as if his goal was the match winner, only for the hosts to equalise in the dying seconds of added time. United didn't deserve to win against Brentford, but their equaliser was particularly cruel for Mount. He seemed like a certainty to speak with journalists in the mixed zone, to discuss his extended layoff and how it felt to score his first United goal, but Brentford's goal changed the mood and Mount understandably didn't want to talk when leaving the Tech Community Stadium. In the next game, Mount seemed a certainty to be given his first start since November against his former club Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, but he was on the bench. That felt like a pivotal moment in Mount's underwhelming season. He made a case to start against Chelsea thanks to bright substitute appearances against Liverpool and Brentford, but still hasn't made a starting lineup a month later. Unfortunately, it's been impossible for Mount to build momentum, and he was absent for recent games against Coventry City and Sheffield United due to another injury. He made a small cameo against Burnley, and there are just 5 games remaining this season, including the FA Cup final, so time is running out for him to make an impact. If Mount is going to be anything but a periphery squad member in the next few weeks, he must start against Palace, and there is reason to believe that's possible. Although Casemiro has played as a centre-back in the last weeks, Johnny Evans has returned to training and could start alongside Harry Maguire at the heart of the defence on Monday. That would be logical, and it would leave Erik Ten Hag a decision between Casemiro, Mount, Christian Eriksen and Scott McTominay. Bruno Fernandes is officially a doubt for the game, but he's never missed a club game through injury in his career, and Kobbie Mainoo is a guaranteed starter in midfield. That means the third midfield position is up for grabs. Casemiro has been poor all season, Eriksen's performances in the last few games have been indifferent, and McTominay has a knock, so perhaps signs point toward Mount receiving his first league start in 7 months. Bruno Fernandes spotted wearing protective cast amid further Manchester United injury worry. Bruno Fernandes is a doubt for Man United ahead of Monday's trip to Crystal Palace, and he has been spotted with his wrist in a cast. Manchester United captain Bruno Fernandes has been spotted with his right wrist in a protective medical cast as he battles to be fit for Monday's trip to Crystal Palace. The 29-year-old picked up an injury in the FA Cup semi-final win against Coventry City and has since played through the pain barrier against Sheffield United and Burnley. But nearly 2 weeks on, the injury remains heavily strapped, as seen when he was pictured leaving a coffee shop in Wilmslow on Friday morning. Fernandes has never missed a United game through injury, and he is one of only 4 first-team players to go through this campaign without picking up an injury that has forced them out of the squad. Speaking on Thursday, Erik Ten Hag said Fernandes was in a race against time to be fit for what is shaping up to be a crucial trip to Crystal Palace on Monday night. After the game, vs Burnley, "We had an issue with Bruno, so he is a doubt for Monday, but he will fight to be a part of this game, as we know with Bruno," he said. "Never rule him out for any game, and he is giving his best to be available."